Great Sunday morning. Here we go. Hey, great Sunday recharge, everyone. We're here with you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Cesar Mascorro Jr. with Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, in with our 15 minutes of mastery that we do each and every day to get your day started off on the right foot with some information, inspiration, and motivation so that you can go out and do great things today. Coming to you live from the home office as we're doing the final prep work for Louisville next week, getting out there, headed out there tomorrow to go start setting everything up to be with you Tuesday through Friday. And hopefully you're going to be there. And because of that, we're talking about the very one subject of growing your industry network, how you can grow your network within the industry. And I'm talking to everyone out there from housing consultants, community managers, general managers, everyone, because there's so many benefits to building a network of any industry professionals outside of your own organization. We're going to talk a little bit about that as we move along. But today's quote comes from Melita Campbell, which says, "I've learned that a strong network is the ultimate shortcut to everything you want to achieve." I've learned that a strong network is the ultimate shortcut to everything that you want to achieve. And I'm here to tell you that's so very true. The first almost we're 21 months into it, almost 2 years, right? The first 20 months, I would tell you that we probably have been working at building our own company on our own. We've collaborated with some people that have helped us out with some events, and we're very appreciative of that. And we're going to talk more about that as we move along. But a true working partnership or really working together to grow our footprint within the industry hasn't really taken off until these last couple of weeks with now what we're doing with Cardinal Financial and what we're going to be doing in Louisville and so forth. And we'll explain more about that as we move on. But the benefit to it is this. Look, I remember when I was on the sales side of things, and there's always that competition. It's almost like we're cannibalizing each other, right? We're so concerned as a housing consultant. I'm so concerned about, well, what is Solitaire down the street getting? What is Cavco over here getting? What is Palm Harbor? What are they doing? And how can I get their customers? And yes, there's always going to be competition because it's business. You're always competing for the same customer. However, you've heard me talking about this for the better part of 2 years now. There's more than enough business out there for all of you and more, because there's a whole new market segment out there that needs us to help them. There's a whole new buyer out there that has never considered buying a manufactured home, and you have the opportunity to serve them. However, it's going to take growing, not just in your professionalism, but in everything that we do. And we're going to talk about that as we move along, because what happens if you're just that type of person, if you're so closed-minded and short-minded and you think that only you can do it and you've got to get it all, and you start to undercut your competitors, you're trying to poach their clients. Well, what ends up happening is this: you struggle because you're limited on resources, you're limited on referrals, your pipeline starts to dwindle. But yet the other person, right? If there was another housing consultant who's building relationships, not just with the lenders and the contractors, that's obvious. You should have a solid working relationship with all your lenders, your manufacturers, contractors that you use for transport, setup, mechanical, right? All your plumbing and things of that nature. You should have those. But I'm talking about within the industry. And that's one thing that I didn't do when I was on the retail side. I did not build real working relationships with other professionals. I'll tell you what, I was that guy that when we let somebody go or they quit, I just cut them out completely. I cut them out. I didn't want to hear from them. I didn't want to know anything about them. because I was so zoned in and focused in on making sure that we were taking care of what we needed to take care of and we got our business. And looking back at that, I see how short, closed-minded that was. Because being able to keep in communication with people within the industry, even when they leave your organization, it still helps to build a better experience along the industry, not just for us in the industry, but for our clients. When we can have that mutual respect and understand every company is different, but we all serve the same purpose. And so today I want to focus on the importance of building that professional network within the manufactured home industry, because it's not just about self-promotion. That's not what networking is. It's about creating a foundation for growth, collaboration, that success that benefits everyone, including your clients. Okay? Because when you're networking, here's what happens, okay? This is why it's so important for growth. How does networking, with other people within the industry help me out? Here's what happens. You're building up this atmosphere of collaboration. You're helping the industry grow as a whole, rather than individual professionals that just work in little silos. And that's really how I would describe it. Every retail location, every community can feel like it's its own little silo. And you're just peeking out the door to try and see what the guy next door, the girl next door is doing. And it just builds this really bad animosity and lack of true professionalism to work at promoting the industry. So when consultants and lenders and manufacturers, everybody, when they all work together, we're creating this seamless experience that starts to elevate the industry. Because when I'm not sitting here bad-mouthing the guys next door, when I'm not in my office trying to talk down their product, look, talk about yours. Speak about your product. Speak about your company. Somebody asks you about the retailer next door. Hey, you know what? They're there to serve people as well. We just do a little bit better, but not talking down, because all we're doing is we continue to create not just the experience, but the feeling within our industry that we are just low level. But when we share knowledge, when you build that network of professionals that are sharing knowledge, the best practices, insights on what's going on in your markets, maybe some strategies that are really working at improving efficiency and customer satisfaction, now everybody benefits, including you and including your customers. But it takes that collaboration. Now, what happens when you don't do that, right? Well, I'm here to tell you, when you're not doing it, here's what ends up happening. When you're not doing that, now it's as if you're cannibalizing each other. It's as if you're really just competing and damaging each other's businesses. It creates this hostility within the industry, and it just turns out to be a lose-lose scenario that really prevents progress within our industry. And of course, when we're doing that, you're missing out on opportunities. You're missing out on opportunities that would really help financially, would help as far as promoting a positive environment within our industry. It would lift up the way that people see the industry outside of the industry. Okay. And it builds a stronger reputation, both for you, the industry, and your company. Right. And so for high performers, I'm talking about high performers now. Okay. We understand that success isn't achieved alone. Whether it's me building this company, I could not do it all alone. I have a team that does as much as they possibly can to help me out, especially right now, getting ready for events like what we're doing next week, right? And whether it's you out there in the industry trying to help families, you can't do it by yourself. And what I mean by that is this: if you continue to just work in your little silo, things will never improve. The reputation of the industry is never going to grow to where it should be. And we're going to keep missing out on those families that need you, on the families that can no longer buy that site-built home, that need you, your product, your company, but they're not willing to come here to see you, to your environment, to this industry, because of what they hear, smell, and feel about the industry. What other people continue to say about it, right? High performers, we prioritize the networking as a critical part of our strategy. We may not be able to network with everyone, but we can at least share ideas. We may not agree on everything, but we can at least help each other out. I hear from everybody that I look to as mentors at this point in my career, right? We're in that middle stage where we don't really have everybody in our corner that we need to keep moving forward, but yet we're not at the level we were before. So we're kind of in that zone where we're kind of by ourselves, and I have to look at other people. I have to follow other people. You guys hear me talk all the time about Andy Frisella, Bedros Keuilian, Ed Milet, people like that, Patrick Bet-David. Every time I listen to them speak, or I'm watching a podcast or whatever it may be, they always talk about how, man, they're trying to be the best. They're trying to be number one. But they will speak to the other people in their space. They may not agree with them on everything, but they will speak about what's going on, that they see what they see going on in the industry, because they know it's bigger than them. And plus, they may learn something from the other person that will help them in their business. So by doing this, you're building those relationships that are mutually beneficial. And I'm here to tell you, I know it's difficult. It's difficult to do, because sometimes you're worried. Well, what if they take my idea about this? And what if they want to go and run with that? At the end of the day, you can't do anything about it. All you can do is strive for excellence, like we talked about yesterday. All I can do is work at providing excellent service, excellent product, excellent training, excellent customer service, everything. And continue to put in the work day in and day out. But as high performers, what do? We attend industry trade shows, industry events, webinars. You guys have heard me talk about all these webinars that we've done in just a short period of time we've been in existence. And every time we do one, we have a little bit more people and a little bit more people. The last one we did was back in November 2025. We did our Path to Mastery event, which was on goal setting, leadership development. We had 5 guest speakers on there from all across the industry: Doug Tolene, Thomas Dunn, Edward Leos, Sergio Rios, David Finney, all of us working together to share with you the knowledge to help you grow. And we had people that were attending that were from different companies that were there on that event. And that was fantastic to see, because high performers, they're looking for those partnerships, right? That complement their business. Like I said, not everybody's going to fit as a partner, as somebody you want to network with, but you've got to search them out, right? And you create that holistic type of customer experience when you start to work together. High performers, we view competitors as potential collaborators. That one's a difficult one, but you can be, because somebody may be ahead of you in certain things that you may need assistance with. So you've got to look at them as collaborators. So you foster an atmosphere of mutual growth. Now, some may grow faster than others. One may pass another one up. You never know. That's just the nature of life. That's the nature of business. But you've got to seek out building the network and growing it from there. right? And so with that being said, I want to make sure that you all understand as housing consultants, community managers, those of you involved in the sales side of things, okay? The industry often, the manufacturing home industry often operates from a scarcity mentality when we stop to think about it, right? Because we feel that we need to compete fiercely because there's, we need to take every single customer that that retailer has right there and everyone else's. And that creates that animosity, that creates that bad spirit, that creates that just uh, it's a feeling that then spills over into the customer experience because of how we speak of others, how we speak of other companies, how we speak of other other retailers, other product. It starts to come through. Think about it. When you're watching a commercial in the car industry, you're watching a commercial. Whether it's a Chevy or whether it's a Lexus, you don't hear them talking about the other vehicles that are out there. You don't hear them talking about those other brands of cars. They're talking about their car. And so when we're sitting in front of the customer, we shouldn't be do that. So the new perspective for you should be this: embracing that networking, shifting from that scarcity mindset to one of abundance. Understand there's more than enough business out there for you and everybody else. You can't have all the business. There's no way that you are going to be able to help every single family that is in your market. It would be selfish of you to be operating in that manner where you're just going to keep to yourself because you got to get them all rather than collaborating. Because when you collaborate, here's what happens. It has a ripple effect. It benefits not just you as a professional, but the entire industry. When we build the industry up, when we start to advocate together, when we start to grow together, when we start to network together, now together we can put a united front out to the public so that they can see that our industry is one that is there to help them and will benefit them, and they need to be open to it. But until we start doing this on our side, it's not going to happen out there. That's what we keep talking about. That's why we keep bringing you these programs. That's why we've had things like the Sales Supercharge Summit. We've had the Path to Mastery uh, online event for goal setting and such. We've done things with overcoming objections. We've done things for sales processes. We've put all of these programs out there. We continue to train different companies. We continue to try and unite everyone. We have our podcast. We have our vlog. We have all of these things to be able to give you as resources to now you take from there and start to implement it within your market and start building that network, because we want to see the industry grow. We truly want to see the industry grow. So what are the best ways that we can build this industry network? Look, I want to run through these with you very quickly, okay? So first and foremost, here's what you got to do. You got to attend industry events, whether it's Louisville. Look, if you guys are in the Texas market, like I am, I live in San Antonio. Next month in February, MHI is having their winning meetings here in San Antonio. And plus, it's a great little time to get away, right? Attend industry events and start to meet people outside of your comfort zone. Start to meet people outside of just your contractor. Start meeting people within the industry that are doing other things, that are doing things on a bigger level, so that you can start seeing just how big this industry truly is and what you can do with it. Because part of having that scarcity mindset is we don't realize just how powerful and how big and just how many people are involved in the type of companies that are involved in this industry, because we don't attend these industry events. So I highly encourage you to attend industry events in your area. Next, leverage your social media. You want to leverage your social media in the sense of being able to create a profile on LinkedIn. Start putting yourself out there. As a housing consultant, professional housing consultant, community manager, whatever your role is, start putting yourself out there and start putting content out about yourself, about your company. LinkedIn is not for you to go in and pitch your house. It's not, don't sell your houses on there, but you can You can start speaking about your company. You can start speaking about you. You can start sharing things on what you've learned. You can start asking questions, creating polls. You start meeting people within the industry. That's a great way of doing it. Next, you want to collaborate on community projects. This one's a huge one that eventually I want us to get to. You hear all the time about companies doing things like the Habitat for Humanity, or the industries that are being involved in these kinds of different things within their markets. And we here at Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, one of the things that we want to do down in the future, maybe we'll start planning it out towards the end of this year, but it's bringing retailers together to where we can start working along with the manufacturer at doing a project of a home for a family in need, and then start building upon that. But we have to start working at these things. Maybe in the area that you serve, and you know that there's a community that's a manufactured home community, or it's a subdivision of just manufactured homes, putting together a fundraiser to do something to improve that area. We have to start working at making our industry what it can be, what it should be, and making an impact on the community side, not just the sales side. That's what's going to help revolutionize everything about this industry and do better for our country, for the people within it who can't afford to buy a home anymore. Next thing, be a resource for others. Share your information. Help others get better, not just within your organization. Put it out there, man. Be a resource. Look, I told you, there is more than enough business for you and everyone else in the industry, and then some. It's time we start to grow. It's time we start to get better. It's time we start to build that network. And with that in mind, the best thing you can do is join our Path to Mastery Collective. We've got a mastermind group that's set up to be able to help you take another step forward in learning more about what other people are doing out there. So from our Path to Mastery event, we actually had everybody become part of this Path to Mastery Collective, which is a mastermind group. We meet once a month online to be able to promote, move forward, answer questions, deal with issues that may be coming up, and help each other move forward. And this is it right here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You can go on our website, manufacturedhomesalesmastery.com. You can get all the details there. But this is truly something that is new to the industry. It's not new. There's these programs and these groups exist all across the country in different industries and so forth. We've just never had one here in the manufactured home industry. And we're taking the responsibility and we're putting that on our shoulders of starting to build this where you, whether you're in San Antonio, can meet people in New York, in Washington State, all across the country, and we're all working together. We're all growing together. We're all moving each other forward. Whether it's accountability on goals, whether it's, hey, we're running into this over here. What is it? Does anybody have a suggestion for that? It's just building each other up. It's helping each other move forward. And I suggest you go on our website and get information on our Path to Mastery Collective, and let's start growing the industry together. Let's start doing great things. ManufacturedHomeSalesMastery.com is where you can get the information on the Path to Mastery Collective. It's going to revolutionize things for everyone, and it's going to take you to another level. So building networks is not just about growing your own success. All right. It's about elevating the entire industry. So today, Sunday, take some time and think of how you can do this. Hey, folks, we're headed out to Louisville next week. If you're going to be in Louisville, please reach out to me. I'd love to meet you if we haven't met yet. And if we have, may come by and say hello. We're going to be at booth 120, 122. We're going to be doing some fantastic things out there. And we want to make sure that we get to meet you while you're there. Also, we got a collaboration, like I mentioned earlier, that we're doing with Cardinal Financial. We're going to have them there at our booth. We've got a great setup. We're going to be interviewing you. We want to hear your story. We want to hear what your thoughts are in the industry, and we want to hear what you think needs to be done to move the industry forward. It's going to be a great time. So come on by, visit us at booth 120, 122 out in Louisville. Till then, my friends, as always, as I like to say, I can't wait to meet you.